Hey everyone. Today we're jumping into a really fascinating concept that comes from ancient yogic science. It's a technique that's actually super simple, but it's also profoundly powerful. It's all about quieting that nonstop chatter in your head and finding this deep, deep well of peace that's already inside all of us.
So, let's start with this powerful idea from the sage Robert Adams. This really sets the stage for everything we're going to talk about. The basic idea? That ultimate source of safety, of joy, even what you might call the divine, it's not somewhere out there. It's right here, inside you.
Does this feel familiar to you? That constant noise, the worrying, the planning, going over conversations again and again in your head. For so many of us, our mind feels less like a tool we use and more like a hamster on a wheel that just never stops. If you know that feeling, then this is definitely for you.
So where does all this internal struggle actually come from? Well, according to the teachings we're looking at, it really boils down to a huge misunderstanding about where we can find real security. We're about to dig into the root cause of why we get so attached to things and the suffering that it creates.
This is such a great way to understand the mind's pendulum. You see, on the surface, you've got this high achiever, right? Someone who earns 3 PhDs, or a workaholic who's always chasing more money. But what's really driving that? Often, underneath it all is a deep, opposite fear. The fear of being seen as dumb, or the absolute terror of being poor. That's the pendulum swing of attachment. We're always chasing things on the outside to try and fix a fear that lives on the inside.
And this right here is the big shift in thinking. The argument is that no amount of money, no number of degrees can ever truly heal that inner feeling of not enough. Real, unshakable security, the kind that lasts, can only be found by turning inward and connecting with that internal source of peace that's already a part of you.
Okay, so how in the world do we actually do that? How do we connect with that inner source? Well, this brings us to the core technique we're talking about today. And it's not some trendy new thing. It's presented as this ancient, almost scientific method for getting beyond the mind.
48 minutes. According to yoga masters who studied the mind for centuries, this is the magic number. It's the exact amount of time you need for a breakthrough. But why? Why that specific number? The source material uses this fantastic analogy to explain it. Think about it. Water won't boil at 99 degrees. It's hot, for sure, but it's still just water. It has to hit exactly 100 degrees Celsius to transform into steam. Well, the mind is kind of the same. It needs a specific, uninterrupted amount of time in stillness to let go. After 48 minutes of just being, it starts to evaporate, and you can see what's behind it.
And just to be clear, this isn't some random theory. It's emphasized that this is considered a scientific phenomenon, something that's been observed and tested by practitioners for centuries. Nobody knows exactly why it's 48 minutes. They just know that it works, consistently.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get down to the really important part, the practical, step-by-step how. This is your guide to actually trying the 48-minute practice.
It's so simple. It's beautiful. Just find a comfortable spot, maybe lean your back against a wall. The key is to set a timer so you're not wondering how long has it been. Close your eyes, do a quick body scan to let go of any tension you're holding, and then just relax. But the most important step here is the last one. No effort. You're not trying to stop your thoughts. You're not trying to achieve some enlightened state. You are just being still. That's it. Okay, now that sounds super easy, right? But anyone who's ever tried to meditate knows it's anything but. The second you decide to be still, it's like your mind declares war. And this next part is so important because this resistance, it is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're on exactly the right track.
You know the voice I'm talking about, right? Your mind is going to throw every excuse it can think of at you. This is a waste of time. You're not doing it right. You've got way too much to do for this. It might even feel like the stillness is making things worse. You'll feel this urgent pull to just get up and do anything else. This is totally 100% normal. See, the ego, that chattering mind, it stays in control through constant noise and activity. When you sit in stillness, you are basically challenging its whole existence, and it gets terrified. That inner fight, that chaos you feel, that's the ego fighting back. It's direct proof that the whole process is actually working. So what do you do when all that resistance pops up? You don't fight it. As Socrates said, you focus your energy on building the new. In this case, your simple intention to just stay still.
You just watch the mind's tantrums without getting dragged into the drama.
So, what is on the other side of this 48-minute battle? What's the prize for staying with it? This is the promise of the practice, a little glimpse of the incredible freedom that is actually your natural state of being.
After those 48 minutes, you might just experience a moment of going beyond your small, chattering self. You might feel this incredible sense of peace, a connection to everything around you, a feeling of oneness. You might even become aware of yourself as the silent watcher, just observing your thoughts from a distance. You literally have nothing to lose but your ego. And that really brings us to the final and most empowering takeaway from all this. The mental noise, the doubt, the fear, according to this way of thinking, living in that state is actually optional. You have the power to choose freedom. All it takes is a short journey inward.
So we'll end with this question. Look, you had enough curiosity to spend a few minutes here with us. Maybe you have enough to try the experiment for yourself. If we can all justify spending 2 hours on a movie, surely we can find 48 minutes to discover what's waiting within. What do you think you might find?